Sheryl Swoopes shares Indiana Fever mistake in Caitlin Clark's rookie season. Three-time WNBA MVP and Hall of Famer Sheryl Swoopes stressed the Indiana Fever's mishandling of Kelsey Mitchell and coaching shifts as their downfall, while Caitlin Clark won Rookie of the Year. WNBA legend Sheryl Swoopes, also known for her critiques of rising star Caitlin Clark, voiced her opinions on the state of the Indiana Fever's rough season and recent coaching changes. In her latest episode of The Levels to This podcast, Swoopes examined the Fever's decision-making and emphasized the mismanagement of star Kelsey Mitchell as a key factor in their struggles. The Fever season was a roller coaster, starting with a rough 3-10 start, which included losing their first 5 games. Despite the early setbacks, they fought back in August, going undefeated that month and extending their win streak into September. The late-season push saw them barely clinch a playoff spot, only to be swept by the Connecticut Sun in the first round. Clark earned Rookie of the Year honors and more record-breaking accolades, though some, including Swoopes, appeared initially unconvinced of her impact. Swoopes and her co-host dove into the Fever's coaching shakeup, debating the recent firing of former head coach Christy Sides and whether she deserved another opportunity in the league. Sides was fired and replaced by Sun coach Stephanie White, who mutually parted ways with Connecticut in October. Swoopes said that a substantial error by the Fever was the mishandling of Mitchell's role. Kelsey Mitchell had a hell of a season this season, and I don't think she got the credit that she deserved, she said. But you said it, there was so much Sides had to deal with and manage. Not just Caitlin, but Kelsey and Nalisa and Wheeler. As the Fever prepares for a fresh start with White at the helm, they will eventually have to confront the tough decisions surrounding their roster. The department of Mitchell could break up the duo of herself and Clark after taking the league by storm, with each scoring 19.2 points per game. Mitchell's Fever legacy can only be compared to the greats in franchise history. Before the season, she held the highest single-season scoring average in team history at 16.8 points per game, outpacing her own efforts. The guard has played the third most games in Fever history, totaling 233, and leads the franchise in both field goals and three-pointers made per game. Mitchell ranks second in all-time points for the Fever, with 3,923, trailing only team legend Tamika Catchings, who scored 7,380 over her career. She is also fourth in all-time assists with 649, highlighting her consistent playmaking and ability to dominate the ball and play off with Clark. Sides spoke highly of Mitchell before her departure, calling her a Hall of Fame-level player and a staple to the franchise. But Mitchell said that despite Indiana being her home, she'll make the best decision for herself as she navigates free agency. Obviously, I've always had a home in Indy, so it could potentially be a home for me again, but I think right now the switching dynamic of my family and everything, I got to do what's best for me, she said to the press. That's not hanging my hat on one team or another, but I think it's specifically for me. I got to be selfish about that process.